Patty Galbraith from Galbraith Counseling, and I'm just checking on seeing how you're doing. Right now, this is the season for a reason, or the reason for the season. I forget what the expression is. But with this season comes a lot of emotions and a lot of stress. And so I just want to talk to you about a skill that I like teaching. It's a DBT skill, which is Dialectical Behavior Therapy, which is a lot of words. And I just say DBT. But it's just being very mindful of our emotions and then also learning how to react towards those emotions when we do feel them. And so we teach this one thing, and it's called Ride the Wave. And I don't know if you've ever heard it, but it is just learning to ride the wave of emotions. So if you look at our emotions, and it's like being in the ocean, and sometimes the waves are big and sometimes the waves are small. When I lived on Long Island, I was through several hurricanes, and I do not like hurricanes at all. They are obnoxious, and they are something that you keep waiting to happen for 4 or 5 days. You're preparing for the hurricane to come, and during that time you see that the wind's picking up, and also the water, the ocean is also becoming choppy. It's no longer, I don't want to say calm because the ocean side is never calm, but it does, the waves start picking up a little bit more. And so during that time, there is what you can control and what you can't control when you know the hurricane is coming. But let's face it, sometimes we don't know when the hurricane's coming, and sometimes that hurricane or that storm just comes on us and those emotions just flood us. So how do we deal with that? And so I like doing this art project along with it. Not always do I do it, but I think it's always important to put down those emotions that we are feeling. So I'm just going to show you 2 pictures that, these are the ones I did because I think it's always good for me to even do what people are doing. So this is one. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm going to pull it up closer. And then the other one, it's a little bit calmer, but still there's like this huge wave coming towards you. So knowing that, it's very choppy. It's very much, the sun might still be out a little bit, but you know those waves are coming. And that's a lot like when I was in Long Island preparing for those wonderful hurricanes. It could be sunny, but then, the newscaster's like, it's coming your way. You only have 4 hours, you only have 3 hours, prepare. And so even though the sun was out, we knew it was coming, and we knew that the emotions and everything that we were going to have to deal with that hurricane coming to hit where I lived at the time was coming at us. So, like I said, sometimes you're not aware of it, and sometimes they come out of the blue, and sometimes we may fight it, and we may run from it. We may shut down. We may become aggressive because we don't know how else to deal with those emotions. And so know that today we're just going to be talking a little bit about that ride the wave. And so with Ride the Wave, I'm going to be like a little school teacher here. I'm going to just put this up here. Maybe that will help. I don't know. So we're going to talk about how do you ride the wave? How do you look at those emotions and not react? Because remember, sometimes we get ourselves into situations that we don't mean to, but we are just immediately reacting. And so how do we press that pause button so we're not reacting right away? Well, one, we have to step back. And when those emotions hit us like smack in the face, we have to observe it, and we have to really, really be mindful and not react. And I want you to start naming those emotions. Don't just say, I'm really angry. That just really made me angry. I want you to name those emotions. Are you frustrated? Are you annoyed? Do you feel like you were disrespected? Do you feel dismissed? Do you feel heartbroken? A lot of times when our anger happens, we are heartbroken. And so name those emotions. You can go online, you can Google a list of emotions, and there's like tons of them. You can just Google them. Even with happy, if you're saying, I'm really happy, give me some more emotions and feelings that you're feeling. Are you overjoyed? Is your heart about ready to burst because it's just so flowing with love? Start naming those emotions other than just giving me those go-to, happy, I'm okay, it's all right, no, I'm really blankety blank about the whole thing. And so name those emotions. Remember, you are not your feeling. You are not anger. You are not whatever you want to say. You feel like you are. You are not that feeling, because you're going to be stepping back. Now you are, even though the wave is hitting you, you're not going to be a part of it. You're not going to add to that story. You're going to step back. You're going to observe it. I like to say sometimes you're like a little hovercraft. You're like, just flying above here and just looking down on it. I remember Geraldo Rivera. I don't know if you know who he is, but he used to go in these planes and go to the eye of the hurricane, which I would never do personally, but for some reason, I think he probably volunteered for the news coverage on that because I think he did like it, but some people like that. But you are not your feeling. You're going to observe it. You're going to step back. You're going to name it, and then you're not going to add anything to it. It's that acceptance. It is what it is. And then, you know what? One thing that's really hard because you want to react, you're not going to react. You're going to sit there and you're going to feel it. You're not going to run from it. You're not going to fight it. You're just going to feel it and know that it's going to pass. There's a crest to this wave, and then it's going to dissipate. Anybody who's a surfer knows that you wait for that big wave, but you know that wave will not last very long, and so you have to get on it, and then you ride it, and then it ends. Once it gets to the shore, it's not a wave anymore. So know that those waves of emotions that you're feeling, they're not going to last forever. And so just breathe, observe it, name it, feel it, which is kind of icky and gross. I know, I hear you. But then you're also going to realize that it's just going to go and it's going to just ride it out. And so you're going to breathe while this is happening. You're going to also be grounded. You're going to know that you're okay. You're in a safe area. If you are, if not, get yourself in a safe area. I have a grounding stone, which of course I don't have right now with me, but that's one thing that I like to give people, but also I like to use too. And knowing, when you're holding it in your hand, that's something that's very grounding. It connects me to something. If you are a faith person, is there a mantra? Is there a scripture that you can use to get you through this? Maybe call a friend and talk to them about how you're feeling too. Don't isolate. Don't try to run from this either or shut down. All right, because guess what? This thing, it's going to come back, and it always does. We are guaranteed to have feelings and emotions. It's part of life, but how we respond, that's a whole other thing that you get to decide how you deal with it, how you control it, or how you respond, how you react to it too. So I hope this helped. You're going to be riding the wave. I feel like I should turn on Beach Boys song or something, that song, or maybe it was Frankie, but I don't know. Anyways, I go on these rabbit trails all the time. But anyways, so ride the wave. Know that it does dissipate after a while, and you are not your feeling. So I hope this helped. And remember, breathe and breathe out. I think breathing out is really important. Do it for maybe 5 times, breathing in and out. Changes the chemistry in your brain, and then it also helps you stay grounded. All right, I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.